judges, respected opponents, and dear audience. My name is Tasya, as speaker one. First of all, I would like to introduce my debate partner as speaker one, namely Keysha. Then Ramayza and Faiqa as speaker two, who will deliver the arguments. And finally, Naila and Malika as speaker three, who will provide the conclusion of our team's argument. We are from Group 5, and today we are here to discuss a topic that is highly relevant in today's rapidly evolving educational environment, the use of cell phones at school. In a world where technology is a central part of our daily life, the question of whether cell phones should be allowed in school has become increasingly important.
So, allowing cell phone in school is essential in today's digital age, as they serve as powerful educational tools that grant students instant access to vast academic resources, facilitate interactive learning through educational apps, and enhance communication between students, parents, and teachers. Moreover, integrating cell phone into the learning environment promotes digital literacy, teaching students how to use technology responsibly while preparing them for future careers that demand technological proficiency. Rather than being distraction, when properly managed, cell phone can contribute to a more engaging and efficient educational experience, acquiring students with the necessary skill to thrive in a rapidly evolving world. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Keysha, and I'm here today with my teams, Syakira, Renata, and Fatimah. Syakira as speaker 3, Renata as speaker 2, and Fatimah speaker 1. We are from team 6, and we strongly oppose the use of gadget in school. Today, we will debating the topic "Should gadget be allowed in school?" As the opposing team firmly believe gadgets should not be allowed in school because they create more problems than benefits. Instead of helping students, gadgets tend to be major distraction, reduce social interaction, and negatively affect to the students' health.
Some people agree that gadgets can improve learning, but in reality, they cause more harm than good. Gadgets distract students from lesson, weaken face-to-face communication, and lead to health issues. School should be a place of focus and discipline, not a place where students are constantly distracted by their phones and tablets. Therefore, to help this debate, we will present strong arguments to show why banning mobile phone in school is the best decision for students, teacher, and the overall learning environment.
My name is Ramayza. My name is Faiqa. Now we want to share our argument about using cellphone in school. As the second speaker, I will present our first argument for today's motion, which is cellphone at school. Cellphone should be allowed because they give students instant access to learning material with e-books, research articles, and educational apps. Students can study more effectively. Now, let me explain why this matters. First, one big reason why cellphone should be allowed in school is that they give students with access to learning materials instead of turning to e-books. Students can use e-books and on their phones. In today's digital era, this makes studying easier because they can keep many books in just one device, and they can learn those practical manage dictionaries, research articles, and learning apps. Students need to learn with their phones. They can explore on their own and find extra information, also develop critical thinking skills. This helps them to learn more effectively. Not only that, many teachers now use cell phone as part of their lessons. Some teachers even use to share learning materials. Many teachers also have used phones to help students access learning resources. For example, if a student is curious about science topic, they can read expert articles, also watch educational videos that explain in a simple way. If they are working on a good project, they can find information and discuss ideas with their classmates. Enough from me. Now my teammate will share about the other arguments.
Cellphone helps students become more responsible because if they can use cellphone in school, they will learn how to manage time and how to use technology in the right way. Teachers can guide them how and when the student use the cellphone for learning, so they don't get distracted if they learn use cellphone responsibly in school. So wisely in daily life. Cell phones make communication easier. Students can talk with teachers or tell classmates about the project or homework. If they get absent, they can ask classmates about what they miss in class. Group project also becomes easier because students can share notes and discuss their work online. School can even use messaging apps for share important announcements or reminders. Finally, cell phones in school are help students for the future because in many jobs there use cell phones or computer for their work. Learning how to use technology properly in school helps students get ready for the future. Instead of banning phones, school should teach the student how to use cell phone wisely in daily life. So cell phone in school not just for fun, but cell phone also helps students become more for learning, become responsible, stay safe and communicated and prepare for their future. That's enough from us. Thanks for your attention.
How do you plan to draw a line between education as and persona? Sorry, how do you plan to draw the line between education as and persona as during class time?
What if learning can happen without phones for decades? What is the student really necessary now?
Can you repeat again?
Sorry. If learning can happen without phones for decades, why is it suddenly necessarily no?
Can you write the question?
But if learning can happen without phones for decades, was it suddenly necessary now?
What
If learning can happen without phones for decades, why is it suddenly necessary now?
without cell phones? Without cell phones.
That in the past, students didn't use phones and they could still learn. But today, the world has changed, right? And technology is now a big part of our daily life. And we use phones to many things, including learning. Phones can help students find information quickly, using learning apps, and communicate with teachers or classmates. In the future, many jobs will also need people to use technology as well. So, using phones at school can help students get ready for the real world for this digital era.
Ready to handle the extra responsible of monitoring student phone use while also teaching. Is that asking too much?
Can you repeat
The question, please. Our teacher ready to handle the extra responsibility of monitoring student phone use while also teaching. Isn't that asking too much?
To answer the question's arguments, so the position claims that managing students together, right? So managing students together has always been a teacher's role. With or without cell phones, discussion exists in many forms, and many phones don't handle it. So the solution is clear. Tools
any interactive tools that enhance progress. We should equip teachers with strategies to implement cell phone effectively. Thank you.
Introduce myself. My name is Renata Dwi Ananta. Speaker argument 1, distraction student problem. One of the biggest problem with long gadget in school is that they discussion student programming. Instead of paying attention to lessons, students may play games, watch video, or scroll through social media. Even its gadgets are useful for students, social media notification or message for friends can easily interrupt student concentration. Research has shown that students were frequently as gadget in class tend to have low academic performance. If students cannot focus, can they run effortlessly? This is why gadgets should not be allowed in school.
Another reason why gadgets should not be allowed in school is that they harm students' social skill and health. When students spend too much time on their gadget, they stop interaction with their classmates and teacher. This makes them less confident in real-life communication. Gadgets can also cause serious health problems such as age strain, head and heart faster. Many students become addicts to gadget, making it hard for them to focus on real world interaction and responsibilities. School should encourage students to communicate face-to-face, develop health habits, not make them dependent on gadgets.
Allowing gadget in school can significantly increase the likelihood of students cheating during exam or assignment. With easy access to the internet, students can quickly look up answers without actually understanding the material. Additionally, they can secretly communicate with classmates through message apps or share photo of test answer. This not only disadvantage students who study honestly, but also undermine the value of integrity and academic effort in the school environment. If this habit continues, students may become more reliant on sarcasm rather than developing a strong understanding of their subject. Creators earn additional burden from teachers. When gadgets are allowed in school, teachers must closely monitor students to ensure that all are not misusing them. Therefore, not education purposes as playing games, browsing social media, or texting during class. This adds extra burden one teacher who not only have a focus on teaching but also a managing student behavior. In many cases, valuable class time is wasting because teacher had to repeatedly remind students for misses as a result. The clean desks and the classroom environment because less competition to education.
Gadgets in internet and social media access can increase the risk of cyberbullying and schools students can easily as their phones to spread rumors, post embarrassing photo or video of conflict, or send intimidating message. Cyberbullying is often harder to control than face-to-face bullying because it can happen anytime and spread rapidly. Yet effects on victims can be severe, leading to decreased self-esteem, mental health issues, and even withdrawal from the school. Everyone that limiting gadget as school can help create a safe and more supportive learning environment for students.
While I respect my opponent's points, but I like to point out. So, the opposition claim that distracting students from learning life, but foreign distraction is more about self-control than the tool itself. The students get distracted by gadgets, even letting them avoid the problem temporarily, but never teach them how to handle real-world distraction in the future. Thank you. Aren't distractions more about self-control than the tool itself? If students get distracted by gadgets, wouldn't letting them avoid the problem temporarily, but never teach them how to handle the real world in the future. How to handle the real world. Like today's digital era, we are using phones, right? Every time.
The real world is full of technology, but the key to handling it is not just use gadgets. It's knowing when and how to use them responsibly. If we let students use gadgets freely in school, they might develop bad habits like multitasking, over-scrolling, or relying too much on instant answers. By banning gadgets in class, we are teaching them to focus, manage distraction, and build strong thinking skills first. These skills are actually what the real world demands the most. Students can still learn how to use technology outside class, but in school, they need to build the discipline to survive in fast-moving world full of distractions.
But if phones are banned completely, how do you expect students to learn digital responsibility in the real world where technology is everywhere? If phones are banned completely, how do you expect students to learn digital responsibility in a world where technology is everywhere?
We understand that digital resources are important in modern education. However, banning personal gadgets doesn't mean removing access to educational technology. Schools can still provide digital learning through supervised tools like school-owned computers or tablets in the library or computer lab. This ensures that technology is used with purpose, under teacher guidance, and not for entertainment. Letting students bring their own device often leads to distraction rather than focusing learning. So, we're not against technology. We support controlled and meaningful use of
Agree. But I must respond that the opposition's claim if the main purpose of school is learning, why not use library or computer labs instead of cell phone, right? Okay. So not all schools have sufficient computers for every student, and access to a library is not always convenient. And cell phone is a personal, portable device that allows students to learn anytime and anywhere. Then, modern education relies on real-time information, which books and limited computer literacy is an essential
quality. Second is personal growth and harder to monitor compared with school or life. In fact, increasing the risk of misuse like accessing non-educational apps or playing games during class. Lastly, smartphones often come with distracting notifications that are difficult to control, which can disrupt student focus. Therefore, limiting access to school device and depending on personal phones is not an effective solution.
Okay, next is the opposition claims that gadgets reduce social interaction and cause health problems. Doesn't the way gadgets are used matter more than the gadgets themselves? Why not guide students who use gadgets to provide social interaction and balance their mind, instead of banning them and losing the opportunity to teach moderation? Thank you. Gadget-based communication is not the same as real human interaction. While chatting online may help with projects, it can reflect direction, comprehension, teamwork, and empathy that grow through face-to-face contact. Also, what often start as the project chatting and up turning of topic discussion message of scrolling TikTok, and in the end, gadget makes students more easily and less conviction in real life communication. Thank you.
The uneven access to gadgets with internet and social media actually enhance students' creativity and digital skills without necessarily increasing the risk of cyberbullying.
yet provide opportunities for enhancing students' creativity and digital skills. It does not come without risk. Cyberbullying remains a serious concern that can negatively impact students' mental health and school environments. Without proper guidance, monitoring, and education about responsibility online behavior, the presence of these technologies can lead to harmful experience. Therefore, school must implement clear policies, digital literacy, and program and support system to maximum benefits while minimize risks associated with cyberbullying.
But teachers and also parents can educate students and how to use cell phone wisely in their daily life. If someone feels there can be different heavy consequences, such as summoning parents or confiscating cell phones. Teachers and also parents can educate students on how to use cell phones wisely in their daily lives. If someone feels it, then it can give heavy consequences, like such as summoning parents or confiscating cell phones.
Play an important role in educating students on how to use cell phones wisely in daily life. If a student violates the rules, appropriate consequence can be applied, such as admonishing their parents or temporarily confiscating the cell phone. These actions are reinforce the importance of responsible and respectful use of technology. The opposition claims that someone reduces concentration, yet distraction can come from anything including conversation with classmates, daydreaming, or even paper notes. The key is classroom management, not banning useful tools. Many schools worldwide successfully implement rules such as silent mode during lessons or phone use only for educational purpose.
the learning will not be maximal. Thank you.
Sorry, repeat again.
In this era, many teachers use cell phone for learning, so if we don't use cell phone, then the learning will not be maximal.
While it's true that many teachers now use cell phones to support their teaching, it doesn't necessarily mean that all students should be allowed to use their phones freely during lessons. Teachers are trained professionals who use devices with a clear purpose to facilitate learning. On the other hand, students often lack of discipline and maturity to consistently use phones for educational purposes only. The role of the teacher using a phone for instruction is different from the students who may get distracted easily. Therefore, allowing phones for teachers doesn't justify unrestricted student use.
We can use cell phones during lesson hours and during breaks. We can call it to the teacher. So, all students can use cell phone wisely for learning.
Even if phones are only used during break time, the risk completely disappear. First, students may be exposed to harmful content, cyberbullying or social pressure online, even in short periods. Second, constant phone use during breaks can reduce real-life social interaction, making students more isolated rather than encouraging them to talk and play with friends. Schools should be a place that builds strong face-to-face relationships, not one that normalizes screen dependence even outside of class.
Cyberbullying doesn't stop just because gadgets are banned at school. It simply moves outside school hours. So wouldn't it be more effective to educate students about digital responsibility and create supporting systems rather than avoiding the problem by getting in school thinking?
It's true that banning phones in school will completely eliminate cyberbullying, but it can significantly reduce the opportunities for it to happen during school hours. When students are allowed to use their phone freely, even during breaks, they still have access to messaging apps and social media where cyberbullying often takes place. By limiting phone use in school, educators can create a safer environment where students can focus on learning and talking face-to-face interaction.
Banning cell phones won't stop cyberbullying, it just hides the problem. Bullying exciting before smartphone and can still happen outside school. The real solution is education, regulation, and strict anti-bullying policies, not restriction. School must teach digital responsibly and create a safe online environment, ensuring students use technology wisely instead of avoiding it.
Thank you.
Banning cell phones won't stop cyberbullying, It just hides the problem. Bullying, exciting with a smartphone and can still happen outside school. The real solution is education, regulation, and strict anti-bullying policies, not restriction. School must teach digital responsibility and create a safe online environment, ensuring students use technology wisely instead of avoiding it.
Okay, that's true. Bullying can happen anywhere with our smartphones. However, allowing my smartphone in school increase the frequency, immediacy, and range of bullying. Traditional bullying may stop on a student goes home, but cyberbullying can harm them 24/7, especially if it's happening during school, home, via private message, group chat, or social media. School may not be able to stop all forms of bullying outside their walls, but they do have the responsibility to reduce to the thought and opportunities for it to happen on school. Thus, restricting smartphone as is a practical step toward creating a safe, more focused learning environment. Thank you.
Can you repeat?
Okay, that's true. Bullying can happen anywhere without smartphones. However, allowing smartphone in school increases the frequency, immediacy, and range of bullying. Traditional bullying, when stopped on a student goes home, but cyberbullying can call them 24/7 as school. If it's happening during school, or via private message, group chat, or social media, school may not be able to stop all forms of bullying outside their walls, but they will have the responsibility to reduce the faults and opportunities for it to happen on school grounds. Restricting smartphone as is a practical step toward creating a safer, more focused learning environment.
just beneficial but essential for equipping students with the skill they need to success in an increasingly digital society.
So, considering all this point, from this time bagi Alya, cellphone should be allowed at school. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
After considering all the arguments, it's clear that gadgets should not be allowed at school. That is first of this, reduce social interaction, and negatively affect both physical and mental health. The proposition team claims that gadgets can improve learning and digital literacy. However, this argument overlooks the reality in most classrooms. Gadgets are more often used for entertainment than education. The risk of distraction, cheating, and over-dependence on technology outweighs the potential benefits, especially when not all students use them more responsibly. Instead of allowing personal gadgets, schools should focus on providing structured digital resources through supervision tools like school computers and implement effective teaching methods that help students stay focused, communicate well, and develop discipline. Creating a gadget-free environment helps maintain a space for real connection, critical thinking, and meaningful learning.